Hello there guys and welcome to another video from myself, Lester Game. Today am bringing you, to be honest, it will be more of a short UFC 203 review. I didn't watch the prelims, actually that's a lie, I watched one fight on the prelims and then the main card, so it won't be a very long video. However, tomorrow or Tuesday there will be a podcast which will be Backlash review, and hopefully by then I will be able to bring you the UFC 203 buy rate. I'm recording this at 4:40 British time, GMT, BST. So the event finished at about 6, so only 10 hours ago. And God, I'm so tired. um, so we'll. My overall thoughts was. Uh, it was okay. I think the Stipe Overeem fight was good enough to save the event. If that hadn't been as good as it was, I generally feel like this whole event would have been an absolute disaster. So we'll just go through from the first fight. So to start off, we had Joanne Calderwood versus Jessica Andrade. Andrade? I don't even know how you pronounce that, really. Um, Jessica Andrade won by submission, I believe. Yeah. It was an okay fight. I don't know any of them. I've only recently really been into UFC over the past year or so, to be honest, since about the McGregor Mendez fight. About a year and 2 months. So nothing really. Wasn't much of a long fight. It wasn't great. It was okay. And hopefully Jessica, because I believe she's dropped like 20 pounds, and she looks so dominant. And apparently she is quite a good fighter. So hopefully she can take this momentum and go on. She'll probably have one more fight before she goes on and fights Joanna Jędrzejczyk, or however you pronounce that. And yeah, hopefully within the next year or 18 months she'll get a title shot, because she did look pretty good, and dropping 20 pounds and still being that good is very good. Yeah, well done to her. Next up, we had Uriah Faber versus Jimmy Rivera. Oh my, Rivera. You know what I mean. Sorry about this, guys. My pronunciation skills are a bit off today, you could say. Uriah Faber's a fighter that I've known for a while, even without being in UFC. He's quite a well-known fighter. Uh, I have watched some of his fights. I watched him versus Dominic Cruz, where unfortunately he lost. I watched him in the Ultimate Fight with Conor McGregor, which I enjoyed. um, so there wasn't really loads about this fight. I can't say it was a good fight. It was okay. Uriah Faber didn't really look good on the stand-up. He is known for making people tap out on his wrestling skills, but he just couldn't do this in this fight, and I think that's what let him down. He did give his opponent a shot in the balls, and also he went for the open-handed slap and caught him in the eye. Now, according to the new rules, which aren't actually in effect at the moment, he should have got a point deducted, but even that wouldn't have made a difference, He'd have still lost. He just didn't look good at all. I think he broke his hand because he stopped punching with his right hand for a solid 2 rounds. He just didn't look good. I hate to say it, but I think it's probably going to be one of his last few fights in the UFC. Because I believe Jimmy was 12 and Uriah Faber was ranked number 7 or 6. So he'll drop down the rankings quite a bit. I don't think he'll ever get another title shot on his life. Well, in the UFC anyway. And most people say that he is one of the best fighters to never have a UFC title belt. He's had titles elsewhere in like WEC and such. But who knows, maybe he might go back up to featherweight, or he might stay at bantamweight. But however, hopefully he can come back from this. He's had two or three losses on the bounce now. Hopefully he can recover from that, but we'll find that out soon. So that was an okay fight. It was nothing special. Uriah Faber lost by decision. Unanimous as well. Next up, we had the big one, probably the reason why most people watched it, unless they were from Cleveland. We had CM Punk versus Mickey Gall. CM Punk, a fighter that has only had 18 months of training. Mickey Gall's been doing it for a while. He's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. They're both. CM Punk was a professional wrestler, which, as most of you will know by now, wrestling it basically takes up 90% of my life. I've been watching it for years and I love it. CM Punk was my second ever favourite wrestler behind Seth Rollins. I love the guy. I still watch his pipe bomb a lot. I still watch his promos a lot, because he was brilliant and I really liked him. However, his wrestling and his promo skills doesn't mean to say you can fight in the UFC, and unfortunately that showcased. But he come out to Cult of Personality, which got a big pop, and I was very happy with that. And Mickey Gall come to "Hey Mickey, you're so fine," which apparently Dana White originally vetoed, but he come out to it in the end. CM Punk was smiling while walking out, didn't look nervous at all. He was a lot less nervous than what I was for him. I was shaking, I was that nervous. Um, so it starts off, CM Punk goes, I think he went for the takedown, and Mickey Gall blocked it, and from then on, you knew the fight was over. CM Punk got dominated, and after 2 minutes and 15 seconds, Mickey Gall tapped him out. That's all I can say on the fight, really. CM Punk probably won't get another fight in the UFC. He looked pretty weak. He's stepped in on 18 months training experience at the age of 37. If he does have another fight in the UFC, I'll be surprised. If he ever fights again, I'll be surprised. To be honest, it's just my personal opinion. I don't know whether he will or not. Some people will say he'll go fight elsewhere. But for me, I generally think in the next year he'll go back to wrestling. Not WWE, but Ring of Honor, New Japan, TNA maybe. I don't think he'll stay in MMA. Because he didn't leave, he didn't leave hating wrestling. He left WWE and decided that he wanted to do MMA. And he didn't leave WWE for the MMA. He left WWE in January and it was announced in November or December that he was joining the UFC for one fight. Well, not for one fight, but joining the UFC. So who knows what the future holds for him? But he seemed very nice. He told Mickey Gall, no matter. This is reported by Meltzer and Alvarez. He told, and also in his press conference, he told Mickey Gall that no matter whether you think you deserve to be on the main card, you are. So, get used to it. You are a good fighter and you got a very good future ahead of you. So no matter what people tell you and what you think you deserve, you're on the main card. You've got it. So take it while you can. And then after that, they did the post-match interviews. Mickey Gall called out Sage Northcutt. I hope that happens, and I hope Mickey Gall beats the shit out of Sage Northcutt, because he seems like as Mickey Gall said, he's very corny and he wants to beat the fuck out of him. And then CM Punk, I can't even remember, to be honest, that well. He said that he does want to fight again, and he's enjoyed the experience. It was the second best night of his life, even though he lost. Even though he's been at WrestleMania 28 versus Chris Jericho, he faced The Undertaker at WrestleMania. He's won 2 Money in the Banks. He's had a 5-star match in Ring of Honor. I don't know whether he was telling the truth, but he said it. That's his problem, not mine. And yeah, that was all. He got very emotional in his post-match press conference. But if he fights again, he fights again. Hopefully, it's in the UFC. But can I see it happening? No. In the co-main event, we had an eventful fight. It was so bad it was good. You had Fabricio Verdum versus Travis Brown. So the fight started off, and Fabricio Verdum went for, I don't even know what it was, a flying karate kick. And from then on, I was thinking, oh dear. And then also another thing that happened in the fight, it looked like Verdum punched Brown on the tip of the finger, dislocated his finger, and then it stopped. And then Travis Brown stopped the fight. But according to my knowledge, and also a lot of other people's knowledge, that should have been a technical submission. Because he didn't tap out, but you stop the fight. You're not allowed to do that. Yeah. Very strange. Like Brian, I've just listened to Wrestling Observer Radio, and Brian Alvarez said if I get punched in the face, I can't stop the fight while I recover because my face is hurting. I thought that was pretty funny, which is true. And then the fight was boring. They both looked poor, and then at the end, Fabricio Verdum and Travis Brown's coach Edmund decided to get a little bit heated, and then post match, Fabricio Verdum saying, according to rankings, he should get a title shot, which is true, but Cain Velasquez beat Travis Brown by KO with 1 second of the first round left at UFC 200, and Verdum beat him by decision. So yeah, that's that. And then the co-main event, we had the the UFC Heavyweight Championship on the line. It was Stipe Miocic versus Alistair Overeem. Miocic walked out to a big pop. Yeah. Overeem knocked Miocic down. Got him in a guillotine, and after the fight claimed that he tapped out. And Joe Rogan, what a hero, got it up on the big screen and asked Overeem to point out where he thought he tapped. What a hero. And as you could see, there was just absolutely nowhere to be seen of him tapping. Miocic won by KO, I believe, and that was that. It was a good fight. This whole event, watching CM Punk losing in 2 minutes and 15 seconds and getting dominated was sad for me. The co-main event was an absolute disaster, and the first and second fights were nothing to talk about. If we'd have had a main event that was average, I felt like this event would have probably been one of the worst UFCs ever. It just wasn't great at all, I managed to stay up for it, but, I managed to stay up for Wrestling Weekly. It just wasn't good. Hopefully tomorrow I can say better things about Backlash. Even though we're doing a UFC review, but also I'll do a podcast and I'll have the match ratings, TW style. Or if you don't know the ratings for that, just Google it. Just put in TW grade boundaries, and it's like TW10. It appears up. It's still the same. So yeah, thanks for listening to this UFC 203 review. I hope you guys have a nice day, and I will see you all tomorrow. Bye bye.